am a huge reader. So I wanted to share my personal book recommendations for each personality type, starting with the 16 personalities of Myers Briggs. If you don't know who I am, hello, my name is Abby, and this is my channel all about the Enneagram and other personality types so that we can understand ourselves better. So let's dive in and figure out the perfect book for each of the 16 personalities. ISTJs, the logistician, are rational, strong-willed, and no-nonsense people. They do what they say they're gonna do, they do it well, and they do it alone. The perfect book for ISTJs is one of the only nonfiction books to win the Newbery Medal, and that is Carry On, Mr. Bowditch by Jean Lee Latham. In the book, Nat Bowditch is fascinated by science, and all he wants to do is study it and study it correctly. He overcomes so many obstacles to teach himself and become the leading expert of navigation in the entire world. He's pretty badass, just like ISTJs. ISTPs, the virtuoso, are the personality type least likely to ask for help. So if you know an ISTP, you should probably go help them. They probably need it. Their individualistic nature drives them to explore the world and make things with their own two hands. That's why I chose Hatchet by Gary Paulson for the ISTP book. Yes, it's a young adult novel, but it's a classic for a reason. It's a timeless tale of transformation and survival in the wild. ISFJs, the defenders, are described by the 16 Personalities website as true altruists, meeting kindness with kindness in excess. They treat others with sensitivity and generosity, striving to create a stable environment for themselves and for the people that they love. The book for this type is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. This classic, heartwarming story follows the lives of 4 sisters, and it really makes you think about what's really important in life. For me, I really feel like ISFJs will just fall into this book like it's a warm comforter, like right out of the dryer. Like it's just something to wrap around you and to remind you of what really matters. ISFPs, the adventurers, are true artists. They approach the world with a unique eye for new adventures and new ideas. They live to pursue their passions. However, it is kind of hard for them, like Enneagram 7s, to make long-term commitments or plans. So I think it would be really helpful for ISFPs to learn to utilize their creativity. That's why I recommend Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. I love this book. It's written by the author of Eat, Pray, Love.
Do you have the courage to bring forth the treasures that are hidden within you?
And it just dives into the attitudes, the approaches, and the habits that we need in order to live a more creative life. INFJs, the advocates, are creative and passionate people. They place high importance on their thoughts and their dreams. They have altruistic tendencies, and when they help other people, when they pour into other people's lives, they feel personally fulfilled. As a highly idealistic personality type, I thought the perfect book series for INFJs is the Lord of the Rings series by J.R.R. Tolkien. This sweeping epic tells the tale of love, faith, friendship, and the battle between good and evil. I also want to note that I think Aragorn is an INFJ, and that is reason enough to read the book because Aragorn. INFPs, the mediators, are open-minded, imaginative, and reserved. They are deeply moved by things like art, music, and nature. You can often find them drifting off into a highly specific daydream. So I wanted to recommend a book that took me completely by surprise with its incredibly rich world building and one-of-a-kind characters. Ray Bearer by Jordan Afueco is a story about a girl named Sarah Sai who was raised in isolation by this mysterious mother, and she just longs for the warmth and comfort of a family. She is then sent to the capital to compete for the chance to be part of the Crown Prince's exclusive council, but she has been ordered by her mother to kill the Crown Prince. Gasp! This is a fresh, phenomenal fantasy that is perfect for daydreamers. INTJs, the architects, are one of the rarest of all the personality types. They march to the beat of their own drum and they honor rationality over feelings. They're super good at succeeding at their goals, but they struggle making connections with other people, especially romantically. My book rec for INTJs is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. The protagonist, Jane, defies convention in the Victoria era as an independent, bold woman. She's a feminist in the Victorian age, so you can imagine the dichotomy that creates. She navigates a harsh world with grace and thoughtfulness while also simultaneously pushing boundaries between sexuality, social classes, and morality. INTPs, the logician, are flexible, analytical, and open-minded. They enjoy pondering the mysteries of the universe and wondering why things are the way that they are. That's why some of the most important scientists of all time, like Albert Einstein and Isaac Newton, have been INTPs. My book rec is Ingredients, the Strange Chemistry of What We Put in Us and On Us by George Zaden. From cheese puffs to vapes to sunscreen, this is a book for the curious person who thirsts to know more about the weird world we're living in. ESTPs, the entrepreneurs, are the life of the party. They're impulsive go-getters who use their boldness and practicality to go after what they want. They don't want to be boxed into other people's expectations. They want to be successful and autonomous. So I recommend Atomic Habits by James Clear. Basically, the thesis of this book is you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. James Clear gives a proven framework for improving your daily life so that you can go after the life that you want. ESTJs, the executives, are orderly and traditional people with a tendency to look at the world in black and white. They stand up for what they believe is right, and they do their best to make the world a better place. My book rec for this type is Carry On Warrior by Glennon Doyle. Learn how to overcome perfectionism by living in a state of loving vulnerability. I think this is a good book for executives because it gives you the tools to let go and breathe without having to live in a set of rigid rules. The set of rigid rules that perfectionism will never let you attain. ESFPs, the entertainers, love living life to the fullest. Fun fact, they're the personality type most likely to say that they're good at cheering people up. They live and breathe spontaneity, joy, and optimism. My book rec for this type is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, especially because of the character Daisy Buchanan. Her personality draws people to her like a magnetic force, and she enjoys life. She enjoys every party, every day, like it's her last. ESFJs, the console, are probably pretty popular. They're people-oriented, they care about their appearance, and they're really good at knowing how they need to behave. For this reason, I chose The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. You follow the reclusive and totally glamorous movie star Evelyn Hugo as she navigates her beautiful and often devastating life. We learn that life is short and that we shouldn't spend it pretending to be something that we're not. ENFPs, the champions, are vibrant, free spirits who chase connection and freedom. They want to know what makes you feel alive, and they do that through their passion and their enthusiastic communication. Because of their joy-seeking passion, I am recommending Someday, Someday Maybe by Lauren Graham, one of my favorite books. Written by the beloved star of Gilmore Girls and Parenthood, Lauren Graham, the holy grail of all actresses. I love her so much. She wrote this book, and she wrote it from her own personal experience, but it is a fiction book. It follows the life of Franny Banks, who is an aspiring actress in the 90s. As she makes it, she goes through the ups and downs of life in New York City. The story is, like ENFPs, thoroughly charming, and it makes you think deeper about finding yourself and finding love. ENFJs, the givers, are motivated to make the world a better place. They tend to be warm, idealistic people who excel at uniting and motivating others. They're natural-born leaders, so I'm recommending the book Dare to Lead by Brené Brown. This leadership playbook is all about the willingness to step up, put yourself out there, and lean into courage. We need braver leaders in this world, and ENFJs are the perfect people to carry the torch. Now let's talk about ENTPs, the debater. I would call them contrarians, but it's probably best just to call them people who thirst for knowledge. They want to analyze and understand everything. They want to know the sides to all the stories. Their perfect book is Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz. This novel is an homage to the golden age of crime, specifically Agatha Christie. It's basically like an Agatha Christie love letter. It's a novel within a novel, a mystery within a mystery. It's the perfect brain candy for ENTPs. ENTJs, the commanders, are charismatic and confident people. They harness their skills to strive for greatness no matter the challenges put in front of them. That's why I recommend I Am Malala by Malala. You probably already know about her, but this is the autobiography of the brave girl who stood up for education and was a voice for children in Pakistan. The Taliban decided that she was enough of a threat to them that they shot her in the head. A little girl. They shot her in the head. And she survived, and this is her story. This is a really intense and important memoir that I think speaks to the heart of ENTJs. I am super curious to know what your all-time favorite book is and your MBTI type, so please put them in the comments so that we can see what they are and go to the library or the bookstore and get those books so that we can all read them together. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.